Hello, this is your host Lakota Ravoc, and today we're playing The Crust. The Crust is a base builder game that puts you in the position of a director of an excavation crew that's on the moon, gathering up resources so you can send them back to Earth. Now, it's a fun game. It is a little challenging, so we're going to go ahead and start a new game, and we're going to go into our sandbox mode, and we're going to play this from the beginning. Now, the first thing that you have to do when you enter sandbox mode is choose your difficulty. There's 4 difficulty modes: easy, balanced, hard, and very hard. Each one giving you an amount of starting resources as well as long-term research points. But here on easy, you get 350,000 credits, and you use credits for purchasing certain things like electrical wiring and conveyor belts and things like that. The blue bottle and the orange bottle are sciences. They're for your research. This gives you 120 science a day for 200 days. Then you get 12 standard drones. They're your workers. They allow you to mine, build, and carry things. You get 250 CPU power. CPUs allow you to get drones and other buildings. This one has an increased starting resources. That means they'll give you more actual basic resources to build. And then the lowered expedition difficulty. That means it's easier to go out and discover new things on the moon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play a balanced mode because we're a little new to this game still. And I just want to show this to you. You can zoom in and out very far. And you can actually get a good look at the layout. And it looks really cool. It's like a picture from telescopes. So you can actually see the terrain. It looks very detailed for the moon terrain. Now, our first task is to drop some cargo pods. Now, this little guy here, this is our elevator down underground. We're going to drop some cargo pods nearby that. These have our starting resources and our drones. You can see them flying in here. So these little guys are our drones. They need power to run. So first thing we have to do is we have to start getting some power up and running. So we're going to go down into construction mode, go to the electricity tab, and we're going to drop a few solar panels. So we're going to go ahead and drop a couple of solar panels right down here. Let's do 4 for now. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need batteries. Now, the reason we need batteries is because we do have a day and night cycle. The night cycle is 14 days long. That means we need to have enough energy to run those 14 days without having any problems. So we're going to eventually be expanding this. Let's go ahead and drop 3 batteries right here. I like to look at that. And then everything has to be wired up. You'll see each item has a node amount, like the solar panels only have 2 nodes. The batteries have 3 nodes. This allows for your connections. So we're going to hook up all the panels to each other. And then we're going to connect them to all the batteries. We're going to drop a utility pole right over here next to the elevator. And then a charging station right near that. And that's for the drones. That right there. Then we just got to connect all that up. And then we're going to connect the power to the elevator as well. And then we're getting our little guys building on all that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to manage our starting resources. So these are our starting resources right here. Smart concrete, steel, silicon. We have some titanium plates, some components and microcircuits. These all help us build our starting factories. We use these up too quickly, we won't have enough to actually build anything down below. So as they're building all that, we're going to go down into the underground cavern. We're going to click our construction mode again, but this time we're going to go into mining and refining. And we're going to make a drone reconfiguration module. Put that right here in front of the elevator. And we got to power that up as well. So we're just going to connect that to the elevator directly. This guy here will allow us to convert our worker drones into mining drones. It allows us to convert 5 of them in total. So now that we got that up and running, we're going to convert 4 drones into miners and then go down to this excavation mode and click on that. And we're going to paint an area so that they start mining out some stuff. Make it nice and square for right now. So you can see the terrain has different colors, right? There's kind of like a tan here, orange here, a little yellow at the bottom. This tells you the kind of grade of difficulty of the terrain and also the mixture of resources that you'll get. And you see here right next to the elevator, these blocks that are red, they're not destroyable yet. We need to do a research in order to be able to mine those out. So they're going to be in our way for a little while. So our next priority is going to be doing some research. First thing we're going to research is this regolith press. This will allow us to make smart concrete.
This is a community college graduate.
And since we got some blue science coming in, we're going to also research the automatic repair. This will allow us to automatically repair buildings without having to tell the drones what to do. To make a note, each tree has different research needs. As you see here in fundamental, they need blue science. In engineering, they need orange science. And in social, they need green science. Now, we don't have any green science income yet, so we're going to have to take care of that in a little bit. But as you get farther down the tree, you'll need more research points of varying degrees. So like this hard rock drilling that we have that allow us to break up those red rocks, that needs a mixture of blue and orange science, with orange being the predominant one because it's in that engineering tab. All right, we just unlocked our regolith pressing module. Let's go ahead and start researching conveyor belts because that's going to be very handy right away. And then under production, we're going to go ahead and drop that pressing module right nearby. And you can see they have an input and output with regolith on the right side going in and smart concrete on the left side going out. This is going to be necessary for when you start making chains of production. Now, since they're doing all that, we'll go through these tabs that we have up at the top. Like the first one is our currency, our credits. So we have over 400,000 starting credits. The second one is our power income. This is what we're producing from the solar panels. We're generating currently during the midday 76 units of power. We're using 21 at the moment, so we have a balance of 55 that's going into our batteries. And right next to it is the actual batteries. So we have 3 batteries that are each holding 100,000 units of power. That gives us a total of 300,000 units. Then there'll be water and oxygen when we start getting settlers. The next one is our total number of drones, and then how many settlers we have. Obviously, we have none right now. Then we have our CPU capacity, which we'll be able to increase as the game goes along. Our reputation, which we'll be getting once we start dealing with factions on Earth. Our blue, orange, and green science incomes. And all the way on the right, we have the speed, time of day, and our light bar shows us how much time we have till the dark cycle. We've got conveyors already researched. So our next thing is going to be geophysical prospecting. This will allow us to find resource nodes in the underground. And we need those resource nodes because they're going to be pure rich product for us to build with. And then after that, we're going to need a smelting furnace, so we're going to drop that as well. And now let's go ahead and take care of our green science income. We're going to go down to this commerce center, and we're going to go into this Crust solutions tab. And this is where we can actually buy science for a period of time until we can start making our own. So we're going to go down here and we're going to click on this one, the 4,000 points from the SRI. That gives us 400 points a day for 10 days. Allows us to get some green science research done pretty quickly. Now we've got green science incoming. Let's go ahead and start researching the living quarters and the ice processing technologies. And because we've got so much coming in, they're going to be researched very, very quickly. And we're going to be running kind of minimalistically because we don't have enough resources to build too many things up top for power. So we're going to keep it to a low amount until we can actually start mining some ferrous ore. And then we can start making steel, which is going to be very handy for us. We just finished researching the living quarters. Let's go ahead and get the license for tender. This will allow us to start going down the chain for our online market system. So we start selling resources and doing trade deals. While we're doing some of that research, I just want to thank you for coming down and watching. Please make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications for future content. Make sure you give this video a like, and also please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. Now this is our world map, or I should say our moon map, and this shows us different areas that we can actually go to. Demolish structure, supply outpost, and things like that. The flag right here is our base. So once we get a rover that can actually go and check these things out, we'll be able to send them out and do some of our surveys. All right, we've got our ice processing technologies. This will be useful later when we start getting settlers. I was waiting for that geophysical prospecting to hit. Once we get that, it'll make it a lot easier for us to find what we need. Now we're starting to go into a night cycle. We're starting to lose power on our batteries. We have a little under 200,000 units of power, and that's going to slowly decrease more as the night cycle gets farther in. Now, one of the main things we have to focus on, though, is in the social tab, we have to follow this chain down until we get into these 3 right here, which is going to be our fundamental science lab, our engineering lab, and our sociology lab. These are going to allow us to create science without needing to purchase it from the earth. And just like that, there it is. Now we can start detecting some ores. And once we get the smelting furnace done, we're going to queue up these 2, the underground mining and the regolith refinery. We're going to need those so that we can actually start digging out those ores and processing them into usable materials. Let's go ahead and drop this ore detector down. I'm going to put it right here next to the elevator. And you see, every time we build something, it takes a small amount of each resource. So that's why we're conserving as much resource that we have. Now, unfortunately, we cannot use this right now. The main reason is it uses battery power to search for those ores. So we will waste our batteries during the night cycle. We have to wait till we're charging again. It'll make things a lot easier for us. And now that we're in the full swing of the night cycle, we're using 23 units of power an hour to keep everything running. So we have a total of 17.5 days of power left, which will get us through that night cycle just barely. So we're fortunate we have the 3 batteries. This game moves pretty fast. As you can see, that clock up there moves very, very quickly. The 14 days in this game is not a long time. We're almost done mining out the rest of this, so we're just going to expand our borders a little bit. We got that smelting furnace. Let's go ahead and research the underground mining next. So now our regolith press is full up on bricks. It only has a storage enough for 36. So we're going to go into storage and add a single resource storage to that regolith press and then conveyor it up. Those conveyors cost 250 credits per length. So every time you build it, you want to make sure you make the shortest length possible. Don't waste your credits unnecessarily. The only thing we have to do now is select a resource. So we're going to put smart concrete in there, and it's going to automatically fill it up. You see those bricks going in? A little bit overlapping on the textures. We got the underground mining done. So let's get that regolith refinery up. And we're just heading back into the day cycle. And that means we'll be able to use our ore detector in order to find us some ferrous iron. And it looks like we expended our 10 days of green science, so we're gonna have to go buy some more. So let's grab that 4,000 points again. All right, we are generating more power again. We're just getting into a nice bright section of the day cycle. So let's go ahead and look for some more. And you see the range that you do shows you how much you consume. So you don't want to go too far out. So we're gonna go to the north part of this map and check out that little section there.
Hello there.
Hey, perfect. We got some iron right off the bat. Really, really close. Not only does it show you deposits in the ground, it also shows you hard rock that's nearby. What we're going to do here is set a high priority to drill this area out. Make it a little bigger. And as we do the researches, we just keep adding more to the list so we don't waste any science points, because it is a fixed income. So you'll be wasting science points if you're not using them actively. All right, there we go. This is our iron deposit. So we're going to put down an extractor right there and turn it so it's facing our elevator. Next, we drop a regolith refinery. What this does is it's going to extract the usable resource that we need from the general ore that comes out. We're going to put a smelting furnace right in front of that and our single resource storage. Conveyor all that up, drop a utility pole nearby, and connect it all together. Now that we've got that all powered up, we just need to select the resources that we want. So this is going to be iron oxide, and on the smelting furnace we want steel. Now we don't have enough steel to build our single resource storage, but once that gets processed, they'll build that and we'll be ready to go. There we go. We're producing iron oxide and slag. Slag is a byproduct of the mining process. It is a waste product, so we are going to have to find a way to store that eventually. And as the iron oxide goes in, we'll start making steel bricks. Okay, they just finished building that resource storage. Let's just select the steel and get that going inside of it.
That's what she said.
Since we got steel incoming, we want to try and build some more of these solar panels and batteries. But our next task is to find silicon. We're going to need that. Okay, we got a good layout here of 8 solar panels and 4 batteries. We had to readjust it a little bit, but it's always going to have twice as many panels as you do batteries. That way it charges up fast. But we are running into a night cycle here, so we are going to lose out on our power very, very quickly. So we might get a little bit of a halt on our production, but that's okay. We'll come back when we're up and running and fully powered up.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, now that we have a surplus of energy coming in, we have 101 units of energy going into our batteries. They're getting fully charged up. We're able to start looking for that silicon. So let's go ahead and take a look over here on the right. Nah, we got nothing. Let's go ahead and take a look on the left. Got some titanium. That'll be handy later. And let's go a little south here. Nothing. We really need that silicon. I'm going to have them uncover that titanium real quick. Now, have you noticed here, right above that, where that titanium deposit is, there's slots. You can actually assign mining drones to those areas and have them dig it out without using an extractor. But we're going to try and avoid that because we want them mining out the actual regolith. Let's try in one of these corners. We really need that silicon deposit. There's another titanium deposit. Do one more go. I don't want to use too much of my battery power. We are going to have another night cycle really soon here. Go north again. Nothing. I have no silicon whatsoever. That's going to make things a little harder. Okay, since we got the blue and the orange signs coming in, we're going to unlock this Expedition Control Center next. And since we unlock the online market in our social tab, we're able to go to the marketplace in our commerce center. So let's go ahead and buy some silicon. Get a couple tons cheap here. As you can see, there's a graph that shows you the buying selling price, and we have it at a low right now, so that's good. And let's just get that much right now. We'll spend about 6,500 on silicon. Now, in order to get that resource up top, we're gonna have to build a landing platform. Let's get that close by. We're gonna just line it up with the elevator here. So now that we've got that landing platform built, we can do contracts. And contracts get us reputation with different factions, as well as earning some extra credits. Now this guy wants 75 silicon. Which we're not going to be able to provide because we can't find silicon. So this is going to be a waste. Okay, so our silicon just came in. We have 136 units of silicon. We're going to want to build some more power up above. Let's make a bunch more of these solar panels. This will help charge our batteries a lot faster. And let's make another battery right here. Just make sure we connect it all together. This should dramatically increase how much we have in our battery when we get a night cycle and improve how fast we collect that energy, which is essential in this game. Because without power, nothing runs. Okay, they got that all built. That's going to help us out dramatically. And you know, with that remaining silicon, let's get that 18,000. Because what we can do now is we can make 3 times the money we just spent. And one other thing I want to do is I want to add a general storage nearby here for any other resources that we have. So we're going to plop that right down here. And this will store anything that we have that's just kind of laying around. As you can see, our power network is perfect. We are generating plenty of power to get these batteries fully charged, so we never have to worry about our night cycles right now. While we can, let's keep looking for that silicon. There's some more titanium. Why can't I find any silicon? There's some more iron. There's some more iron. Wow, this game is really me over. Without silicon, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Well, considering we can't find any silicon right now, and I've scanned quite a bit of this area already, I think maybe we'll just end it there for today, and we'll pick this up on another day, and keep this progress going. Thank you for coming down and watching. I really appreciate you. This is going to be Lakota Ravoc signing off. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye. What was that? You're welcome, buddy.